Hi and welcome. Today I want to create some messy mixed media tags with a little bit of acrylic paints and some paper scraps. I'm using my jelly prints, but you can use any kind of paper scraps you have. It's not that important. I'm using a blank piece of copy paper for my palette, and this paper I will use later for my main image. And the color I'm using here, this is the Quinachridone Magenta from Schmincke, and it's from their artist grade paints. It's very expensive, but I have to say it's so vibrant and intense. It's really a gorgeous color. And I did those tags before with colors from Amsterdam, and they just don't get this vibrancy. Here I'm going in with acrylic ink. It's the student grade acrylic ink from Schmincke, and it's the color Ivory. And I used the pink color with a lot of water, so this ink bleeds into it and it creates a very interesting texture. And you see I just did this in a messy kind of way. I just add the color, I let some white areas shine through from the paper, and then I dripped in that ivory color. Now I'm going in with a yellow. I will try to list all the colors I've used in my description because I don't have every single color name in my mind. This also was a color from Schmincke, and it's a very transparent color. Both of those colors are very transparent, and if you have a transparent acrylic paint, of course it's not opaque and it doesn't cover up the layers underneath very well, but they are more vibrant and more intense on color. I now will let these tags dry before I keep on working. For the next layer I will just add some background stamping, and I'm using the journal word stamp set here. It's great for backgrounds, and it's also great to stamp it full and then cut out the words to use them on your projects. I use the Archival Ink Plum because this color is matching my background. I don't want to go on top with black already because it would be so it's such a high contrast and it would be too hard, I think. I just clean the stamp by pressing it onto my piece of copy paper. And I'm doing the same with the Mix a Sentiment stamp set. It's the same, just with smaller words. I'm now searching for some papers that I like together with the backgrounds. I try to pick something that has the same colors on it. So this is the Quinachridone Magenta, which is on my print here. And I also have kind of the same orange and a bit of turquoise and blue or violet, and that I think that just matches the background and also gives it some contrast because of that turquoise color. If you're new to my channel, you might want to check out my jelly printing videos I shared recently. I will link up a playlist at the end of the video. I'm tearing my papers because I prefer that distressed edge against a cutted edge with the scissors because I just like that look together with the messy background. I also prepare some papers for the other tag. As always, I have linked up my blog post to the video description so you can have a look at the close-up images of these tags. Sometimes if I am not sure if I like the layout that I'm making, I just have a view through my camera and that just changes the point of view, and it's interesting. You just see what looks good and what doesn't. Something that also can help is to look at it through a mirror, for example. Or also what you can do, you can have a view from upside down. That also sometimes makes a difference. I'm just using a glue stick to adhere the papers. Of course, I could have used gel medium, but I like that that more grungy layered effect you get when you don't glue everything down perfectly. So the edges stand up and that creates more dimension. And of course, also with a glue stick, I don't have any drying time. I often get asked which tags I'm using here. These are cut with a die, and the die is from STAMPlorations. It's a company from the US, so in case you are in Europe, this might not be your first choice, but I'm pretty sure you will find something similar here. I also have some tag dies from Acrylic, and they are also really pretty. Here I'm just cutting a tiny circle from the same background, just to have the same color on my tag in another area. I now go in with more stamping using just black ink together with a stamp from the Carved collection. And here I also use that paper that I've used just before to clean my brush and to use it as a palette and to clean the stamps. For stamping, I just want to have a messy kind of paper that I can use later for the main image. And these kind of papers are always great for backgrounds and such things, so I always recommend using a piece of paper as a palette or as a underpaper, and so you get a really random looking background. I also add some more texture and marks with a stamp from the pencil marks. If you know my videos, you know that I like color splatters, and I'm adding some black splatters with acrylic ink. I dried the splatters with my heat tool and now I am going to stamp the main images. I want to use the Bumble and Bee stamp set. It's also on the Inky Friends. And you see I just adhere my stamps without any glue to my acrylic block. I cleaned the block with a baby wipe and usually the stamps holds pretty good. The StazOn ink is a bit sticky, so this made them just stick to my paper, but that's not a problem. I get a perfect stamped image. I now cut them out and then I will just tear the papers to the right size and just see what I like or how I like them on my tag. That's what I love about using the same background for the main image. You have similar colors on it and it looks messy and it looks not as if not controlled. It looks a bit out of control and that is what I like. I made my decision where I want to put the images and I also adhere them with the glue stick. I decided to add a little bit more paint to the tags and therefore I'm using that Quinachridone Magenta again. And I also thought that some white splatters would look really nice, so I added some of those, and after those were dry I add a title to each tag and therefore I just cut words from that underpaper sheet where I've cleaned my stamps before. I inked the edges of that title piece with black ink to make it pop a little more from the background. And that was my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe you are inspired to create also some messy tags today. And I wish you a wonderful weekend. Bye.